European countries have boosted security in the wake of Paris terrorist attacks. The head of the European Union police agency Europol said international cooperation is essential as extremists move across borders and use increasingly sophisticated methods. He said a great number of European Muslims have become radicalized and armed.
We're also concerned about the way in which terrorist networks are using the internet in a much more sophisticated way, as a recruitment tool, as a propaganda tool, as we have seen with IS in Syria. But we're particularly concerned about the way in which the internet, of course, can be used for effective, secure communications outside perhaps the reach of law enforcement.
In Washington Friday, President Obama and Britain's Prime Minister David Cameron agreed to expand cooperation on fighting terrorism.
We both recognize that intelligence and military force alone is not going to solve this problem, so we're also going to keep working together on strategies to counter violent extremism that radicalizes, recruits, and mobilizes people, especially young people, to engage in terrorism. And local communities, families, neighbors, faith leaders have a vital role to play in that effort.
Ahead of the meeting, Prime Minister Cameron told the Associated Press he would seek cooperation with large technology firms to allow governments access to highly suspicious encrypted communications.
There is a broad agreement that we need to have the powers to, in extremis, intercept communications between terrorists. That is what America does today. It is what Britain does today. We share the intelligence and information between us, and this has saved countless lives, not just in Britain and America, but in other countries as well.
Meanwhile, in Ghana, President John Mahama called on African nations to work together to rid the continent permanently of the threat of terror.
I am, through the President of ECOWAS, requesting a special session at the upcoming 24th African Union Summit in order to discuss and plan not as separate sub-regions, but as one united continent, the way forward in our collective fight against terrorism.
The week after the attacks on the French magazine Charlie Hebdo, the satirical weekly published a new issue with the cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad on its cover, sparking several protests around the world, some of which turned violent. Zlatica Hoke, VOA News, Washington.